The White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce and On Location TV19 are proud to present Your Business Matters, dedicated to your business needs. The White Bear Area Chamber is a nonprofit business organization serving as an advocate for the White Bear area and its business community. Now, here is the Executive Director of the White Bear Area Chamber and the host of Your Business Matters, Tom Snell.
Welcome to Your Business Matters, brought to you by the White Bear Area Chamber of Commerce. Each month we interview community leaders and local business owners so you can be informed about the developments in our community. Today I am pleased to welcome Mary MacCarthy, President, CEO of Glorious Hugs, a new inspiring business located in our community. Mary, thank you very much for being part of our program today.
Thanks, Tom. I'm excited to be here.
The first question I want to ask you is, what is Glorious Hugs? It's a kind of an unusual name for a business.
Right.
So explain to the viewers what your business is.
Yep. Glorious Hugs is named after my grandmother, Gloria.
Okay.
And the whole the concept of the company is to send care packages of art and poetry and other engaging items to mostly senior citizens, although they're loved by many different people besides seniors, but that's where I'm starting as a business.
Okay. Now, you said Glorious Hugs, so it was named after a family member that you've got.
Yes.
How long did it take you to come up with that name? Is this something that just came up right away, or did you have to think about it for a while in putting your business plan together?
Yep. Well, I knew I wanted to pay homage to grandmother, Gloria, but I didn't want to call it Gloria specifically. So, and I wanted to include a hug in the name because I want the business to feel like a hug. I want when somebody receives one of the care packages to feel really, really loved.
Okay.
And the whole brand, from the printing on the box to everything in it, is all about loving and reaching out to others and the connection between two people.
Okay, great. About your company now, tell me a little bit about how you started, kind of what what inspired you to go in this direction, to start this new entrepreneurial venture.
You bet. So I'm from the medical device industry. I was a marketer.
That's different. That's a lot different from this.
But it's all about caring for people through medical devices and keeping them alive, keeping their hearts going, easing pain. This is a different way to improve the quality of life for seniors in a more, in a different, thoughtful way. Too often our elderly community isn't given the love and attention that it needs from this fast-moving society that we have. This is a way to make it easy for people to reach out to seniors or to anybody to show quite a bit of love and caring.
Now, when you mention this changeover, though, how did you really come up with this idea? Is this something that you wanted to do for a long time, or is it something that just kind of evolved right away after you moved out of the medical device industry?
Well, there's a growing body of clinical evidence in the cardiovascular and health field that links depression and loneliness with cardiovascular health and decline.
Okay.
And as I was doing research for medical devices, I stumbled across this growing body of research, and that was sort of in the back of my mind that I wanted to do something someday that would impact the community. Working to improve the lives of seniors through medical devices, having a profound love of art and artists was at the core of it as well.
Yeah, so that's something that you've always had a like for the art and the work. So that's something that's always been part of what you've done, right?
Very much so. I was really energized and passionate about getting into the art field.
Okay.
I'm not an artist myself, but I see this as a business to really support the art community too, because I'm buying large quantities of art at fair prices and then selling it to basically caregivers to send to seniors. The long-term plan for the company, though, is to outsource the fulfillment, the packaging of the care packages to the developmentally disabled community, because that community needs great jobs to keep their lives fulfilled as well.
Now, getting back, is this something that I'm always interested when somebody goes from kind of the corporate world into starting their own business like you did? Is it something that evolved over a long period of time, or is it something that you just decided to do quickly and said, this is a good idea? How did you determine that this is something that you could actually make a living on? Do you see where I'm going with that?
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I developed a business plan. Of course, the business plan never comes to life, your forecast. It's always wrong by some factor. But
you had a business plan.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
I developed the business plan after I developed the concept for the company, though.
Okay.
The full story is I was sitting in my house and wrote down a list of what I wanted to do and the impact that I wanted to make on society. Like, what legacy was I going to leave as a businesswoman? And I didn't see that the corporate world would necessarily leave the legacy that I wanted to leave. I wanted to do something more impactful and helpful to many portions of society. So I made this list of I wanted to be in the art world, I wanted to serve seniors, I wanted to help the developmentally disabled community, I wanted to support me and my family, and this is what I came up with. For the developmentally disabled community, a wide variety of skills and ability can participate in putting the packages together and shipping them out. So it definitely meets that goal.
And it was it's always challenging, though, to start in a new business like this. I mean, to move forward, it takes a lot of ingenuity to make that happen. Now, one of the things that I've noticed that's interesting about your business is you seem to have been able to get a lot of attention through various media sources. And I want you to let us know a little bit about what are some of the media outlets that you've been able to get to. And then the next question is, because this might be helpful for some other people, how did you make that happen?
Oh boy. To answer your first question about on KSTP,
Right.
Belinda Jensen interviewed me on
Right.
Care 11
I
News
saw that.
Saturday. Yep. I've been in the Woodbury Journal, the White Bear Press, White Bear Lake Magazine, Lifestyles Magazine, and many others. I'd say I've gotten to all of them different ways, but the main thing is to develop a really solid story about your business and brand yourself as much as you're branding your business. Draw upon your past. Find a way to connect with people. And relay that emotion and passion that you have about your business.
So when you say branding your business, what do you mean by that term, branding your business? I mean, in helping to get the information out to people about what you do.
You bet. So it kind of started with a value proposition. I'm kind of getting into marketing terms.
Okay, I think
value
people know what that
proposition.
is. Okay.
Yep. And then making a list of what your tone of voice is. Like, how do you want to communicate to the community? And it's got to reflect who you really are as a person as well, otherwise it'll come off as fake. So what are you really good at? What are you passionate about? And trying to tell your story in a way that will resonate with other people so that they care about it and they think that their readers and their viewers will care about it as well.
Do you have a background in marketing then?
I do.
Oh, you do?
I
Okay.
do, yep. That's what I did in the medical device community.
Interesting.
I did
Okay.
more of the strategy, market research, competitive intelligence most recently, but before that I worked more in the consumer and business marketing at Emation and 3M.
Okay, so that's how you moved into this new area and were able to start your new company and get the information out to people.
Yeah, pitching to news sources is not that difficult necessarily. They may not always pick up your story or want to run with it. But you get better at telling your story, and especially if you can document what your story is and get those key messages down, then it'll help you sell it in the future.
That is really, really interesting. We're going to take just a really brief break right now. I have some announcements about some chamber happenings that are taking place in April. First of all, on April 19th at the Fairfield Inn in Vadnais Heights, the Chamber will hold a special session on how our tax climate actually impacts statewide revenue. Our special guest is Peter Nelson, the Director of Public Policy for the Center of the American Experiment. Then, on April 26th, the Chamber holds its annual Business and Achievement Awards at the North Oaks Country Club featuring George Zimmer. On April 29th, the new president of the University of Minnesota joins us for a roundtable discussion on business education partnerships at Vico Corporation. For more information on these exciting events, please visit the Chamber's website, www.whitebearchamber.com. With me today again is Mary MacCarthy of Glorious Hugs. I want to go into your business a little bit deeper now. You brought this piece of information, and what is in it? And this is what you give to people, right?
Right. This is what people can order online. So
okay, or order online.
Right. They're available business-to-business channel online and also through select retailers in the Twin Cities area.
Business-to-business channel, what is that?
Yep. So me selling to other businesses like large nursing homes in the Twin Cities area for their residents' enjoyment. Mm-hmm. So people can go online to glorioushugs.com and you will see that you start with selecting a piece of art.
Okay.
So I've got a few ideas here for things that people can order. Little dog paintings by Linda Clayton of Minneapolis.
I can see that. Okay. That's a painting that somebody made. All right.
A beautiful mug by Guillermo Cuellar of Schaefer, Minnesota.
Okay, and then that's one of the potters in the area. Yes,
Yep.
I've heard of that person.
Yep. This is by Marjorie Wade of West Lakeland, Minnesota.
Okay.
And this is by Laura Cornell. She's of Minneapolis. A little
that's really
loon
pretty. It's
on a piece of map.
Photo of a loon. And then you also have poetry in your information, right?
I do. Poetry, little samples from Windmere Naturals of essential oil products, cookies from local bakery like Grandma's Bakery right here in White Bear Lake.
Okay.
And also poetry by Phyllis Bellata of White Bear. And
I actually have a poem by her that you put in with the information. And if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to read the poem.
Beautiful. Please do.
Okay. It's called Remaking Rock. Rock breaks, weathers, is ground up and carried away as the smallest particles of sediment. Tiny and slippery clay has so little space within that the minerals create an impermeable layer, a deposit that even repels water. But with water needed in clay becomes plastic and moldable. Reconstituted clay is really to begin a metamorphosis. This time dried, fired, or baked by human hands for human needs in human shapes of design and art. Clay can be remade.
Just like
into
lives.
Bricks, adobe, cob, or wattle and dab for shelter. In plastic, mortar, paint, and flooring to live with. into ammunition for slings, musical instruments, figures in medicine, into tablets for picture words and counting. Thank you. That's a very interesting piece, and this goes in along with other pieces of poetry. I don't think I read it exactly the way that maybe it should be read, but anyway, that's a very interesting piece of work. Now, the interesting about the various pieces that you put in to give out to people, we're going to get into how you market that in a little bit, but the first question I have is, how did you decide what to give people?
Great question. Well, I knew I wanted to start with art, and actually over time what I include in the box has evolved as I get feedback from customers and from people that actually receive the packages. So, for example, just recently I started adding a little native seed packet from Prairie Restorations of Scandia, Minnesota.
Okay.
So these are pollinator seeds that whoever receives the care package can go outside and actually plant in a little plot of land that will help support the bee and butterfly population in Minnesota.
Right, which is an issue.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yep. And also I just recently included little samples from Windmere Naturals. They're of Minnetonka, Minnesota. And just beautiful lavender soaps and lotions to help calm people down and make them feel good. Cookies from White Bear, various White Bear bakeries, or from a place down in Eden Prairie Kitchens. Everything in the box is sourced locally from the Twin Cities. I think it's really important to use local suppliers whenever you can.
Right.
Because it's good for the community, and it's good for the suppliers as well.
What I've noticed about the items that you have is that they are all local artists. They're all local small business people.
Yep.
They're not big chain operations.
Exactly. Yep.
And was that part of what you wanted to do at the start, was to work with other small businesses in creating this venue of options for people?
Absolutely. Minnesota has a rich community with wide resources and skills and abilities. And I don't need to go anywhere else. Everything I need and everything we need to care for each other is here in the Twin Cities area or Minnesota. So I'm pleased to offer that to our clients and our customers.
Great, great. Now, the marketing of this, the services that you provide, again, or the products and services that you provide, how do you get into the various, get out the information of the various people that you want to reach?
Yep. So I started as a business doing traditional advertising. And
that would be, by traditional advertising, you mean?
Magazines, to the medical device, to physicians, because I figured physicians see a lot of older people and they can recommend care packages to their family members or to their patients. That didn't go so well, actually. Marketing to physicians is extremely expensive. And so I tried that for a couple months and then backed off.
I want to ask about that. So let's say a person is starting a business and they're looking to start marketing their products right away.
Yep. And
you said this didn't go so well. Is that something that people can learn from?
Exactly. Oh, yes. So I had put on my medical device marketer hat and said, I'm going to use the channels I'm familiar with.
All right.
However, what I found that from a consumer perspective, it was much more efficient. I got a higher return on investment from marketing through public relations channels, through PR channels, like all the ones that we talked about earlier. They're interested in good stories and people who are doing different things. Even the local cable TV channel where we are at today came and did a nice segment for On Location show earlier last month. So that's a much more effective way of getting the word out, especially to the local population. I had originally started too with trying to market to all of Minnesota and found I need to scale back. Start local, build your brand locally, and then move into the outstate areas and outside of Minnesota.
Have you used, to use a term, networking, where you actually go maybe and meet with people that have that are in senior living facilities or some other options like that that might be available?
Yeah, in fact, the Chamber has been awesome in connecting me with other with sales opportunities, several. So I've been very grateful. Networking has definitely been a wonderful way to get the word out, because then you're turning to advocates, people who understand your business and care about it, and they're marketing for you through word of mouth.
That's really, really interesting. So you would and typically your audience then are people in the senior community.
Exactly. Well, it's family members that are buying for people in the senior community, typically.
So not just people that live in long-term care facilities. These could be people that live in homes that are they don't have the network of support that they had at one time with their friends and their family members.
Exactly. Seniors don't get out to museums the way that they used to when they were younger and more mobile. This is a way to send a little piece of art to somebody else to have inspiring conversations. Besides the piece of art and the poetry and the cookies and all the other things that we talked about, there are also discussion questions in each package.
Discussion questions?
Yeah. Discussion questions about the art and the poetry and memories. Like the discussion questions that come with a little dog painting are things like, tell me about a dog that you had, your favorite dog, what dog comes to mind. Some people wonder what it's like to be a dog. Did you ever wonder what it's like to be a dog? Or
interesting.
And then the poetry is about the invisible world that dogs can see and hear that humans can't. So it's a whole another level of stimulation and thought that take people out of their daily life and open up a larger world and larger windows to them to think about new things.
Is there any type of, when you get the information out to people, do you just, does it get mailed or delivered in a certain way? How does that happen?
It actually mails right in this box.
Okay.
So it arrives looking just like this at somebody's door. And it's quite stunning. I call it a huggable box because it's kind of round. And if you can't tell, the front is somebody reaching out with a rose lanyard. And the back of the box is someone hugging the other end. So the whole box is like, I tried to make it similar to receiving a bouquet of flowers. That is just stunning and different and beautiful. And the whole brand of the company is that way as well.
That is really interesting. Now, if somebody wants to get a hold of you, because I would imagine that you maybe work with maybe some boomers that are, have older parents, maybe still around, that something like this could be very helpful for. And how would somebody go about getting a hold of you?
GloriousHugs.com. I'm also very active on Facebook and Twitter and all the other social media channels.
Okay, so that's how they could get a hold of you. What is your? Can they call you?
Sure. Yep.
Okay. What's your business number?
651-706-1343.
Okay, and then they can get a hold of you, and they can get these delivered to their parents or loved ones, and have that as a way to go forward in creating a more family bonding.
Exactly, and with Mother's Day coming up too, I've got new pieces of art coming out. And this.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Okay.
And it's a really cute piece of art. It's from another local artist, but they're glass cats.
Oh, wow.
And they're about this big, so like 3 by 2 or so. But this artist spins bands of color inside the cat that runs from the cat's head all the way through its tail.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful. So if there are any cat lovers out there, it's just gorgeous. Yeah. I'm excited. Those will be, you're the first person I've told.
Okay.
So it'll be on the website next week.
Thank you so much. And I really appreciate it. It's a very informative interview, and I really enjoyed hearing about how you started your business and some of the key factors on how you designed and how you marketed your business. So
thanks, Tom. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mary MacCarthy, for joining us today. I'm Tom Snell. Thanks for watching Your business matters.
For more information on this program or the White Bear Area Chamber, visit whitebearchamber.com or call 651-429-8593.